Happy Autism Awareness Month, everyone. When I first told my therapist that I was getting evaluated for autism, she said, Phoebe, you can't be autistic. You like playing Dungeons and Dragons with your friends too much. That woman looked me in the eye, and I looked her reluctantly back in the eye because, and she told me that I can't be autistic because I play too much Dungeons and Dragons. I do have to hand it to her, though, because I'm pretty sure she is the first person ever to express that particular sentiment.
Okay, so while we have to give her points for creativity, sort of, I'm still curious how she came to that conclusion, because I'm pretty sure it's oh, but you have friends. You like spending time with other people, so you can't be autistic? Because apparently she doesn't know anything about autism, and she just has this picture in her head of this. I bring this dude up every single video I make about this kind of thing. This, image people have in their head when they picture someone autistic, like a little boy, a little white boy, who's non-verbal probably, and is either obsessed with trains, or ambulances, or dinosaurs. Which fair a lot of children are, but if you're anything other than that, they don't clock you as autistic, and it's strange somehow that people know this little about autism and still feel so confident telling people, no, you can't be, because you're not the image of autistic I have in my head, so you can't be. But sure, you play too much Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, you can't be autistic. Hello baby Chris, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some neurodivergent TikToks again, because I messed up. I did 2 neurodivergent memes videos last month, because I was supposed to do a neurodivergent TikTok, but I thought I meant memes, so I just did memes because I had so many. But oh well, I collected TikToks now, we're finally doing it, again after 2 months, but anyways, gotta get to it eventually. So you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated, grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll look at some TikToks. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go.
Okay, so friendly reminder that neurodivergent is an umbrella term for anyone whose functioning diverges from dominant societal norms. It's not just a term for autism or ADHD, it also includes all the things listed under these neurodivergent umbrellas, and it also includes mental illnesses and mental health conditions. The creator has included mental illnesses and mental health conditions from the very beginning. It is an inclusive term, not a clinical term, not a medical diagnosis, not a medical term, not an exclusive term. Do not gatekeep.
Honestly, this just as a side note, because I keep feeling bad. Every time I make these videos, I feel kind of bad about it, because it's fairly easy to find content about autism and ADHD. But that doesn't mean, and that's not what I'm trying to say, is that that's the only things that are neurodivergent. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it's just very easy to find that content, and it's very easy to be relatable to me because I am, but I'm not trying to dismiss anything else. And honestly, personally, I did not know that mental health conditions like anxiety or depression were also included. But at the same time, it just kind of makes sense, because neurodivergent isn't a medical term. Like they said, it's just kind of an umbrella term to kind of group together some people with certain conditions that don't function like society expects they should. Because if you have depression, you're not gonna function like society would expect you would. You're not gonna be able to take care of yourself and your life as well as someone who doesn't have depression, obviously. So honestly, it does make a lot of sense to group it together.
I told my partner that sometimes I feel like I should go outside without my noise-canceling headphones because most people don't use them and I want to get used to it. And my partner said, would you tell a person who uses a cane to go outside without their cane since most people don't use it and they should get used to it? And then they said, if a person lived in severe pollution, would you tell them to go outside without their mask because most people go outside without a mask? So this is a message for all my neurodivergent people. Most people don't use noise-canceling headphones because they don't need them. But you do, so you should use them.
Honestly, I feel this though, because I feel like a lot of neurodivergent people do this, of Well, other people don't do this thing, so maybe I shouldn't be doing this thing. But if this thing, like wearing noise-canceling headphones, helps you and makes you feel better to go out and do the things you need to get done, then why wouldn't you? You know? Because I know people are like a lot more accepting of physical disabilities, like if you have to use a cane sometimes, or if you have to occasionally use a wheelchair, everyone's gonna be like, well, of course, if you need to use it, you're gonna use it, right? Because they have like understanding for that. But if it's more of a mental thing that they can't see, I know other people don't take it serious, but that doesn't mean you don't need to take it serious, because it's your life, and if you find things that help, like carrying a fidget toy, or wearing sunglasses, listen, people will look at you weird. I just walked back home wearing sunglasses and noise-canceling headphones. It's not that sunny, but it's bright. The amount of weird looks I got, like this one grandpa went out of his way to not cross me, like on the pathway, so there's that. You know, but I suggest we get used to it, because it helps us. You know.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
미치기. 노란색은 글씨가 없다. 우리 이씨 누구 있어? 아니면 없지. 여상. 열리원 올리원. 70박스 올리원. 70박스 올리원. 장갑 올리원. 수아스를 you all about you. 와우. 감사합니다. 이유. 내 꿈꿔. 이유. 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 파란색. 파. 이유. 또 형이야? 너무 부담스러워. 3. 아우 이유. 야 저거. 형 얼굴을 정면에서 찍어야 되는데. 아우. 6. 내 거라고. 먹고 싶어. 아, 네, 상추. 피디하게 하려. 피디하게.
Okay, we've talked about this before, that K-pop is basically made for autistic people. It isn't, of course, but it kind of is, because you get to collect cool little photo cards, and you get to actually be obsessed about it, because people kind of assume you're gonna be obsessed about K-pops, or your favorite group, or your bias, or something. As a K-pop stan, like, people kind of expect that of you anyways. So it's somehow less strange. People still think K-pop stans are weird, you know, but people are already gonna think you're weird, so you might as well belong to a group of people that other people already think are weird, I guess. So listen, A, that just makes sense, and second of all, I feel like picking up like little habits or like little phrases or like habits like the clapping and laughing, honestly, I never used to do this. But then again, I also never used to talk or move really when I was out and about, because what if I do it wrong? You know, but I picked it up, and I'm kind of glad I did, really. Because yeah, people might look at you and be like, why are you so loud? Like, why are you clapping? Why not? It's basically stimming, honestly. So that. And also, just picking up things or like habits from your like your comfort people or your comfort group also just makes sense. And things like the ew or something from Yunjin might also just like feel insanely good in your mouth. So why wouldn't you? You know, honestly, it becomes weird because people seem to think it's insanely weird if you pick up like Korean phrases. Like if you use English phrases, if you're from a non-English speaking country, because I'm from Germany, if I throw in like English words or sentences in, people don't think it's weird. They might look at me a little bit weird if they don't speak English at all, really, and they can't understand what I'm saying, sure, but they don't think it's weird. But if you do it in Korean, people think that it's being like a Koreaboo, or that you're just like being really, really weird, which just seems racist, because English is fine, but other languages, no. But anyways, we all do this, right? Also like from people we meet day to day, like our friends or something, we pick up things they say way too quickly. Okay, I felt like I maybe need to include a definition here, because some people may not know what dyspraxia is, so I included it so you don't have to pause the video and never come back. I know you know. Dyspraxia is a lifelong developmental coordination disorder that affects gross and fine motor skills, and sometimes cognitive function. There is no cure, but it can be successfully managed with therapies. Dyspraxia is a brain-based motor disorder. It affects fine and gross motor skills, motor planning, and coordination. Although it can affect cognitive skill, it is not related to intelligence. Children born with dyspraxia may be late to reach developmental milestones and behave immaturely. They can find it challenging to make plans and carry them out. They might have speech difficulties and appear clumsy. I love how this says children with dyspraxia, as if adults with dyspraxia aren't also still clumsy. Really, is what people would call it. And the thing is, like, if you bring it up to people, I can already hear it. People are gonna be like, oh, but everyone does that. Like, everybody drops things sometimes, everyone bumps into things, sure. But again, if you do it every 7 minutes, it might be more than just, oh, I'm a little bit clumsy, you know? So I can hear those people, but I really don't want to hear those people because I'm clumsy, okay? I will bump into things like 2 or 3 times a day. You know, I will stumble over nothing. I will, like, occasionally, like, especially drop my phone or something. I'm constantly worried I'm gonna drop a glass or something if I'm holding it. Do I have dyspraxia? No. Because I feel like that's also, like, a very normal level. But if it's very often, then yeah, you might have dyspraxia. I feel like this might be actually better than definition. Like, definitions are all well and fine, and I had to include one obviously earlier, but yeah, kind of having more specific examples maybe might be more helpful. You know? So there you go. Personally, I do not have a Pablo the Alpaca, but I feel like I should. He's very cute. He's very cute, but I feel like kind of comfort items like that in general make a lot of sense. Like stimming toys or other like sensory seeking or sensory avoidant things, like the headphones that help you like avoid sensory input, or things that give you sensory input, like the fruit or something, do just generally make sense. The flashing, like, dino thing, way too bright. Oh my god, it hurts my eyes and I'm not, like, even right in front of it, so I would pass. I do not want that. But a lot of the other things just are cool. Come on. I feel like it wasn't obvious because, again, people don't really know what autism looks like, so if they don't really know what to look for, they probably think it's weird that you're acting a certain way because you're just stimming because you're excited about your present or something. But people aren't gonna clock it as autism necessarily. But once you know what to look for, it becomes very obvious. But honestly, it's just cute. I love seeing people happy still. Okay, that's just one of the cutest things to me. Because I feel like we spend a lot of time talking about what autism looks like under stress, or traumatized autistic people, what they look like, or, you know, the meltdowns and the negative sides. And sure, kind of important to talk about, and kind of helpful to like maybe give out tips to kind of minimize that from happening, because I don't think in this world we could like just not experience that at all. But honestly, seeing the positive side of it, just people being so filled with joy by something, it's just adorable to me. They can what now? I mean, that kind of makes sense. Because someone like suggested quite a while ago that maybe instead of like having the diagnostic process be as it is right now, you should just like be put in a room with like 7th grader girls and ask them if they would have bullied you if you went to school with them. And if the answer is yes, you're probably autistic, because again, while people don't really know what autism looks like and they can't pinpoint that, oh, it's autistic, so we're gonna bully you, they still pick up on all the things that are essentially autism and will bully you for that. For being kind of awkward, for not knowing how to act in social situations, or for being quiet, or for being way too obsessed with something. People will pick up on that. And I feel like especially teenagers will be kind of ruthless about it. But adults will definitely still pick up on it. So it makes sense, but the fact that they can do it even when we're masking seems like such a scam. We put so much energy into masking and people can still tell. I don't want to believe that. But I feel like I still... like, depending on how good you are at masking, I think. But yeah, if you're not as great as you think you are at masking, they will probably still catch up on it.
Random things that neurotypical people do that I will never understand. The first one is knowing how long to brush your teeth for. I have never understood this, and there's not like a rule book for it, like how if you cook something or bake something, it tells you how long to put it in the microwave for, or like the oven, not the microwave. When I was a kid, I used to brush my teeth for 10 minutes because I had no idea if they were done or not. The second one is knowing exactly where to apply your deodorant. Let me explain. So here, I genuinely have no idea where like your armpit ends. I'll like apply deodorant from like here to here. Cause like, where does it end? How are you supposed to know? And like, what if you don't do it in the right place and you're like smelly? Like, I'd rather do it too much than not enough. The third one is when doctors will ask you to rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, is a 10 like dying in a car fire? Like, how do you answer that without knowing the max and min values?
Honestly, yes. Same. I will probably use too much deodorant because I also don't really know, but then it's like, even if it's not armpit anymore, if it's like skin against skin or like skin to body, it just gets warm and sweaty anyway, so why not apply deodorant more than you need to? Because I feel like using too much deodorant is way preferable than ending up smelly. To the first point with the brushing teeth, I don't know, we were always just taught 3 minutes. It's like such a made up rule though. Because some people said 2, some people said 2.5, some people said 3. And then it's like, what do you do? What do you do? And also, we never had like such an exact clock in our bathroom, so I could never really tell anyway, so I don't know if I brushed them too long or not, because I don't know. I now have an electric toothbrush that is set to a timer, so now I can tell you how long I brush my teeth for. You know, but anyways. And pain scale is such a wild thing to me. Because yeah, how do you know? Like, I can compare it to pain I've been in before. But as like a grand total of things, like, yeah, maybe this hurts a lot more than the headache I had last week. Maybe it hurts a lot more than when I sprained my ankle or something 5 years back. But how do I know? So giving a number seems impossible. I was like, well, it hurts, but I don't know how much. And then doctors don't take you serious because you're just kind of waffling on and not just like giving them a number or something. Oh well.
Bing!
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Beep ba 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 da boop. Ba 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 da boop. Come with me and you'll be What? Nothing. I'm a scat man.
I'm a scat man.
Mama. Ooh. I don't want to die. Mama.
Ooh.
Nothing.
You're laughing at me.
No, not at all. Sorry. Bing bong. Bing bong.
Okay, but just saying the first part doesn't feel complete. So if you start this thing, like starting a song or something, you have to finish it. And if you apparently stopping, then we're gonna finish it because it's not complete. So what are you doing? And sometimes we just repeat back things because they feel like they're gonna sound good. And our brain just does it automatically, because honestly I'm not really thinking about it. And then people think you're making fun of them or something if you just like copy a phrase they said. But you're not doing it to make fun of them, you're just doing it because your brain just did. And your mouth just did the thing without you really knowing why, or without even you really knowing it's happening. Yeah. Well. Honestly, it does seem like one of the more fun parts actually though.
The autistic smile. I've not heard anyone talk about this before, but my boyfriend brought it up to me. So I asked him, like, what, if you look at me, what about me says that I'm autistic? And I was only diagnosed like 2 years ago. We've been together like before my diagnosis. He's been with me before I knew I was autistic. And he says it's my smile. And I was like, what do you mean my smile? What do you mean? Because like, obviously this is not like a diagnosis thing here. Like this is just a speculation. But apparently autistic people, it's quite common to have a lopsided smile. And I'm looking at myself now filming, and I know that that side is going up. That is one of my biggest insecurities. But now it makes sense because a lot of autistic people I know have the lopsided smile. I don't know why, but I hate it. I really hate it. I wish I liked it, but I don't. Some people find it cute. I don't. But yeah, autistic smile.
Honestly, I have not heard someone talk about this in like 2 years. Like I've heard someone talk about it that like autistic people very commonly like pronounce things more with one side of their mouth, and I was just like obsessively staring at the camera while I'm talking to figure out if I do it or not. And I feel like the more I look at it, the more I don't do it, but I do it. But I really can't tell. You probably can tell better than me because I'm just talking and not thinking about it. You know. But smile, I've never thought about it with smiling. But I feel like I do. Because I either do the kind of murpy smile or the... But it's always more on this side. You know, I've not really thought about it, like whether I hate it or not, I just don't really think about it, but... I don't think it's like very useful as a criteria to diagnose someone, but I still feel like it's a very common thing that's just kind of funny, because a lot of autistic people do it. No, because like, what are you supposed to do? Like, just standing there doing nothing? No. Listen, back in school, when we were younger, especially like when we were older, we were like allowed to leave the classroom after an exam if we were done. But when we were younger, we were just supposed to sit there, and the teachers were like, well, it's not that bad, you just like, I don't know, think about whatever, you just have to sit there for like half an hour, it's fine. because I was always done like insanely early with my tests, and it was hell. Same thing applies when I'm just like standing somewhere waiting for someone. Which is great, of course, because I managed to arrive everywhere early because I'm so anxious about coming late that I cannot physically be late and just come way too early, and then I'm just standing there like... But also can't concentrate, like I start scrolling on my phone, but then I stop because it feels weird, and then I like sometimes I don't have headphones and I was like, well, I can't watch this with sound right now, so it's just boring. And then it just doesn't take up my brain, right? And then I put it away. Then I put it back up. Like, then I pull my phone back out. Sitting still in one position in general is just uncomfortable. Same with standing, so... Why wouldn't we do this?
Yeah, okay.
I got you. I'll bring plenty for you. Great, thanks.
Try those wings, see if they're magical.
I'm gonna make a mess everywhere. I'm not great at using a fork to begin with. Let's try it this way. This hand is here for aesthetic purposes only. It doesn't do anything. That's pretty good.
The fork help?
No.
Well... Knowing you're gonna make a mess and just like accommodating that and just asking for a bunch of napkins before you start seems fair, actually. But yeah, I'm glad you somehow managing to enjoy your food, even if it's difficult to actually eat it. You know... Yeah, this is kind of the difference between oh my god, no, I can't focus at all, I'm so ADHD, and actually having ADHD. Like, I hear it way too much when I say it. It's like, oh my god, I can't focus. I'm aware of how I sound, because people will probably also just like think, oh, like you're just saying you have ADHD, or you're just saying that because you don't want to or something. And I'm way too aware of what people think. Actually, but you know, yeah, but then when you bring up like actual things, it's like, oh no, but not like that, because then they're thinking it's gross or something. Yeah, well, I mean, also, yes, some people's ADHD literally impacts them more than others, I'm aware of that, but still, if they look at you like that, they're probably not.
Got my sights set on you, and I'm ready to aim. The last time I freaked out, I just kept looking down. I just stuttered when you asked me what I'm thinking about. Felt like I couldn't breathe. You asked what's wrong with me. My best friend Leslie said, oh, she's just being Miley.
And I can tell you why, because this is what other people have called you. They've called you flaky. Or rude because you're interrupting people, or you keep forgetting about them and forget to text them back because, well, everything is happening, so, you know, things slip your mind. Or they call you lazy because they just see you not doing anything. They just can't see the internal struggle to get up because you're trying to do something, anything, the thing they've asked you to do. But you can't move. But they don't see that. They only see the outside of, oh, you're just still sitting on the couch or on your bed or whatever. So, yeah, this is what other people have called you. That doesn't mean it's necessarily true. You know, that being said, kind of figuring out where your ADHD ends and where you maybe really just need to work on yourself because you're not being a nice person might still be important, because just using your ADHD or something as an excuse for everything also seems like a bad idea. But that's for you to figure out and not for other people to be rude to you about and just be like, no, but you're just a bad person. You don't care about anyone but yourself. You know, like if other people do it, it's weird. If you take the time to figure it out for yourself, to be like, oh, yeah, no, maybe I do need to work on myself. That's something else entirely. And only you know the difference, really. Yeah, This is the same as like, oh, I can just go outside without my noise cancelling headphones. It's fine, other people do it all the time. Yeah, but other people don't care. If the sound of the water hitting the sink or something bothers you, sure, do stuff to accommodate it. Like, people have worn like little like hand wrist stuff that catches the water so it doesn't run around their arms. For the exact same reason, to accommodate themselves to actually be able to do the thing better. You know, because you know that if you're just gonna be miserable the whole time, you're way less likely to do it. Because, well, that just makes sense, right? And again, I am aware people will just think, oh, no, you're just lazy. You just have to like pull yourself together and try harder. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you know what is actually hard for you and what isn't, and do the things that make it easier. Like wearing headphones, if the sound bothers you. Just, like, especially if you have like overheads, it might also help if you have long hair to keep it out of your face so it doesn't get wet. So you can't lose the hair tie you put in the bathroom because it somehow keeps getting lost.
No ADHD, just autism. Really? I love it. How do you know I'm autistic? The ways that I am and the things that I do.
You were playing Stardew Valley when I got home.
This feels a lot like the D&D ones. Like, you can't be autistic. You play too much D&D. Every other neurodivergent person will look at you and be like, you play a lot of D&D? Are you? Yeah, I feel like people will know. But yeah, while neurotypical people will catch on that you're different from them, other neurodivergent people will probably catch on that you're autistic. Actually.
Hey, can I show you this BTS song? How long is it? It's 4 minutes and there's more? My boy, you still going? That's a compound sentence.
I feel like we came a long way from, no, you can't be both autistic and ADHD. That's not how it works. Yes, you can. And more people do than you think. And I feel like generally, a lot of people who have either autism or ADHD will also have some form of depression or anxiety. So, yeah, compound sentence, compound diagnoses, everything in compound, really.
So just gotta let you know, I have a condition that makes me move a lot.
Okay.
I'll do my best. The last nail place I went to, they told me to leave because I was moving too much.
They told you to leave?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I haven't gone back since because I've been nervous.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you. Oh, you cunt. Fuck. So. Fuck. Fuck.
I saw baby chickens. Is it chickens? Questionable.
Oh, you ass. Sorry. I also say bad words.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Get right in, man.
Wow. Sorry. Oh, my hand's gonna move. Okay. Sorry.
Also, is that outside the thing?
Okay.
Flynn bit my finger.
Ouch! My cheeks. Oh boy. Sorry, I didn't feel that one. Ouch! My cheeks. Perfect. Awesome.
Giống như là đưa đi vào cái bệnh viện Connect đó.
Tickle cheeks. Do you want a kiss? You bastard.
I thought that like they were.
My hands fell off.
I've been thinking.
I froed up. Ha! Woo! Ha! Woo!
Đấy nó bị co sao mày?
Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. All this. Wow, my cheeks. That's what I'm sensitive about.
So like this. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, listen, as a tattoo artist, I would be really worried about tattooing you. Because then if you move, you could seriously, permanently have something on your body that you didn't want to begin with. Like, you wanted this exact image, you didn't want like a weird line through it because you moved your hand. You know, as a tattoo artist, I might be worried. It's just nails. Like, even if you mess them up because this person pulls away, just banning them just shows me that you don't really know Tourette's, or you just don't want to deal with it. Because yeah, it might be easier for you to do your job as a nail artist if the other person just holds still and is holding polite conversation with you. Sure, but just being like, no, I'm gonna ban you from the salon, just ableist. Really. Just that. And I'm glad this one was just chill and just was actually patient with you and just like waited for you to give your hands back because, well, you needed to move them in that moment.
I have just received rock-solid evidence for the theory that the neurodivergent 100% effort does not equal the neurotypical 100% effort. I know we already knew this, really, but I like to gaslight myself, and so having somebody else say this was revolutionary. I was just in a one-on-one with my boss, and unprompted, out of nowhere, she tells me that I am operating at 150 to 200% effort. I'm sorry, what? What? 150 to 200% effort of what is expected of me. I have been doing what I consider to be the literal bare minimum for my job for months now, to the point where I was like, if I continue this, I might get complaints about me not doing enough. 150 to 200%. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we working so hard?
I mean, it just makes sense that if all your life people have told you you're inadequate in some kind of way because you're not peopling right, you're not socializing right, you're not holding eye contact right, you're not doing this thing like other people, you're eating your food weird, you have weird interests. Like, if people keep kind of belittling you for the way that you are, it kind of makes sense that we just like subconsciously just started working so much harder to kind of make up for it and not be called out like that anymore, you know? Because no one likes being belittled by other people. But same. And then it kind of has two sides for me. Like, on one hand, I get incredibly mad that other people do less than I do, because I recognize that I somehow like do more at work, and I get mad at other people for not doing that, and just like being able to like chill and go on 50-minute coffee breaks. And I get so mad at it because I feel like I can't do it, because I will like be called out for it immediately, because somehow you always do things wrong, so why wouldn't people call you out for that? And then simultaneously, if you try to like slow it down because you know you're just like kind of burning yourself out by doing it the way you are, it's such a struggle to actually like let yourself do less. Because you feel like, well, what if this isn't actually right? Like, what if someone will call me out on it? What if I am now doing too little? And what if people, like, what if I get fired or something for this? It's such a struggle. And I've just kind of honestly, just subconsciously, I've been consciously trying to do less, because I'm somehow very aware that I'm like one of like a very few people that actually do a lot at my job, like at my current job. And it's a struggle to consciously do less, because I'm not doing less to be lazy, I'm doing less to not burn myself out and just, you know, feel miserable. It's a struggle, I'll tell you that much. Am I still doing way more than other people? Yes. Has our like head of department actually complimented me on like doing a great job? Yes, which actually really helps, because then it's like, oh, like, even because if it's like at the end of the day and they're like writing you something, it's like, hey, you really did a lot today, like, thanks for like pulling off so many things. It's like, I know that day, like, I wouldn't maybe remember the next day like exactly how much I try to take things slow, But that day I still remember, so that's honestly like kind of getting that kind of outside confirmation is probably gonna be really helpful, actually. Anyways, I feel like I could rant way more. Is it actually ranting? Maybe not. I don't know. I could make this video way longer, but I'm not going to, because I feel like we'll probably all have things to do that we've been putting off. So, you know, I'm gonna leave you here. Just to find a reminder, if you're not hydrated, maybe consider hydrating first before doing other things. You know, but either way, that's all the TikToks. I hope you enjoyed them, and I'll be back in a few days with my next video.